very careful when Pus Puss comes in the house because somebody here has had him in his mouth more than once, hasn't he? And it's not because you're vicious or malicious. No, it's not. There were people, like actual humans. You're the cuddliest cat ever. I may as well start my tour from horseback. This is the home. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's a wet and windy and pretty miserable weekend here in Cornwall. It's the 4th of October, Sunday the 4th, and I was a little bit unsure about what to vlog this weekend because, as I say, it's vile weather, there's not a lot going on. Oh, just noticed I've got that twisted. Story of my life, always put it on wrong. So I thought it would be the perfect opportunity, because we had a bit of a yard spruce up yesterday, to do a bit of a yard tour and introduce you to all of my animals. Those of you that have been long-term followers may well find this not so interesting because you may well already know all of my animals, but there may be a new addition. I'm not going to say too much about that until towards the end of this video, but yes, we may have acquired another four-legged friend, or maybe more than 4 legs, I'm not really sure. Anyway, like I say, it's wet and windy here. I'm gonna finish my hack on Banksy Boo, and then I will show you around the yard, which was freshly spruced up yesterday. We did a bit of a deep clean of the end stable. Oh, we're picking up pace here. There's a canter path coming up. We will continue this as soon as I get my feet on solid ground, because somebody's buzzing. Ooh, quickly, before I forget, I would also like to add a massive thank you to everybody that watched last week's vlog and sent me lovely, kind, concerned, reassuring, encouraging, just lovely, sweet messages about Sir Banksy's well-being and our retirement. Oh, people. There were people, like actual humans, walking down his lane. How dare they be here? That took you by surprise, didn't it, Boo? But yes, what I was saying before that was so grateful and a little bit overwhelmed actually for all the lovely messages of support and like just reassuring, and yeah, literally did make me all goosebumpy. I was quite tearful when I got home last weekend because I was just like second questioning everything. But my main priority was that he was okay, and I know I did the right thing by retiring because I know this horse inside out. I've had him 6 years now, and I know that he wasn't being naughty by stopping. He loves his jumping, he loves his job, and for him to say, no, I can't do that, Mum, was purely to look after both of us, I think. So he's having an easy couple of weeks. He had physio on Tuesday, which went well, but she did find that he had a very tight left quad muscle. So that could explain, which is really weird actually, because I did my voiceover for my dressage test prior to finding that out, and I was saying how much worse his right canter was in dressage when it's normally our left canter that we struggle with. So the left leg, left hind, is the harder working leg in the right canter, isn't it? Am I right when I say that? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I picked up that the right canter was worse and he had a bad left quad. So that could well explain a few things. He's going to have an easy couple of weeks, and then we will get back out jumping and hopefully re-find our spark for it. Gonna get him home now, like I said, get 2 feet safely on the ground, and then I will show you around my yard and introduce you to all of the animals. I'm quite excited. I know lots of you will have seen them before, but lots of you have said that you'd like to see more dinks in vlogs, little legs, aka Bertie, and find out a bit more about the background of like where I got him from, why I got him, when I got him. how I came about finding Banksy. I will include a little bit of that in this vlog, and then a bit more about Pus Puss, Sam Sam, Blue Dog, and maybe our new addition. I will do that when we get home, because I imagine it's very windy and you probably can't hear me very well at all. Plus, my arm's aching, and I'm keen to enjoy the rest of this mooch on my special boy. I may as well start my tour from horseback. This is the home, and this is the yard. Very, very close. Oh, you're talking to him. Very, very close and very, very fortunate. This is the field that the doggies play in. We don't really put the horses in there very often because we like to keep it nice, as you can see. The grass is lovely and well cut. This is what we call that the kitchen field, that the stable field, the one over there the big field, and then the bottom one that meets down there, the bottom field. They're all so well named. I was going to say hi to Dinks, but he's ran back inside his stable, out of the wind. Right, you, shall I get off and introduce the other animals? So I am extremely fortunate, as you can tell from this, to keep my horses at home. They are very, very, very close by. Literally, it's about 15 steps from the house to the yard. However, it does mean that we don't, although we have lovely stables and a good bit of turnout, we don't have the best facilities. We don't have an arena. We definitely don't have an indoor arena. We don't have an outdoor arena. I do sometimes set an arena up out on grass in what I called the big field a minute ago. However, he's never that good to ride in the field. He can be quite naughty, and he can knock my confidence a little bit, so I don't do it that often, although I probably really should do it more. I'm going to get him untacked a minute, and then I will show you around my stable block, or should I say Banksy's crib. And Dinks' crib, but like I say, he's gone into hiding. What are you doing, little legs? Are you in there? You're snoozing. We'll show you off in a minute once Boo Boo is untacked and rugged up and ready to go out for a few hours, leaving me with the chores of mucking out. Thankfully, Banks is a really clean horse. This is what I have to contend with. He's so clean in the stable. I'm very, very lucky. But also I do come out quite late at night and do late night skip outs prior to going to bed, just to keep on top of it, to make it easier for the next day. Both horses are bedded on easy bed, and I'm yapping away as per usual. Let's get this ponyo sorted, and then I will show you a bit more and introduce you to the other animals.
You say all the right things when I'm hurting.
We'll come back to you in a minute. Yes, we will. We're going with the eldest first. Okay, so I take back the 15 steps. It's 40 steps. Depends how big or long your legs are. But from the house to the yard. But yes, welcome. I have just been in, had something to eat, and warmed up slightly, because as much as I stayed dry, I did get a little bit chilly out riding because my hands got soaking wet. Welcome to, oh hi Puss, should we start with you then? I wasn't sure what order to do the introducing the animals in, but seeing as Pus Puss is here ever so conveniently in the dry, then we'll start with you, shall we? Shall we introduce you first? Now that you're awake? Or should we finish the yard tour first? Give you a chance to wake up. Hey? So here we have the, what I call end stable. We'll start this end, work our way down. This is Pus Puss's favourite place to hang out, because he stays nice and dry and warm, and he's got his own duvet out here, haven't you? Not sure how well you're going to be able to hear me because the rain is coming down with a vengeance again now. But this is where we were sprucing up yesterday. This is basically a spare stable. It's a 10 by 12. My other two stables are 12 by 12, so ever so slightly bigger. But this one's a 10 by 12, and it's basically just a storeroom. I keep all of my bedding in here, all my rugs, dog food, and then all of my extra stuff that I don't use as often as the stuff that's in my tack room. So things like camping gear as well, chairs that we take when we go away in the trailer, stuff that was in my old trailer. I don't have a trailer at the moment, but that's a story for another day. Basically, this is just a storeroom when all of my chaffle things don't fit in the feed bins that are in my tack room. Then it all comes down here, and yeah, we did quite a good clear out yesterday, but I think I could be a bit more ruthless and clear it out a little bit more. However, I'm a bit of a hoarder and I do like to keep things, so yeah, you never know when you might need it, do you? So as I say, this is stuff that I don't necessarily use all the time, although I have just put the eventing bag in here because I know that I won't be needing to use that anymore this year, which is sad. It was a very short-lived season. Let's show you the rest of the yard though, and then we'll come back and do our animal intros for all of you that don't know the full story as to where you arrive from. You cheeky monkey, you don't normally do that to mummy. You normally only do that to daddy, don't you? Right, stay there, I'll be back. Bertie's bedroom. Ta-da! I actually only changed this yesterday to put his bed this side as opposed to that side, because of how bad the wind and rain is. We quite often leave it open so that he can come in and out and be in his pen as well as in his stable. And I thought, with the wind and rain coming in, if he does want to lie down in his bed, maybe the wind will gust through with the door being open. So I moved it over this side for him yesterday. On into Banksy's bedroom. Won't spend too much time in here because I did a complete whole vlog of cleaning it and getting it winter ready 2 weeks ago. Again, nice, deep, easy bed. Have got a rug rack up here, which I put up. That is actually out of my old trailer. This still needs fixing from when he bucked out at it in a tantrum. Both have automatic water drinkers, but obviously Dinks isn't tall enough to reach in here, so I have to give him a fresh drink every day. Yet to finish skipping out in here. This was put up, you wouldn't have seen this 2 weeks ago if you saw the stable clean vlog. This was only put up a couple of nights ago. It was kindly sent to me by Polyjump, and yeah, it's so much more robust than the previous hay bar that I had. I had hay bars when I first had these stables put up back in 2011. However, my old horse Buddy used to always, why am I reenacting this, itch his bum on them, and he would make, they were like curved, and he would make them really weak, and then he would make the screws come loose, and then they would always fall off the wall. I would spend so much time going in, Rob, please can you put them back up for me? And he'd be like, ah. So in the end I just took them down and used hay nets, but this one is feeling lovely and robust. They come in a variety of colours, and yeah, so far so good. But like I say, it's only been up 2 nights so far, but it's looking nice and stable. Is that the right terminology to use? Like these head collars, into my tack room, which we spent a lot of time down at the end stable yesterday. Not as much time as I'd have liked to in here. It could do with being spruced up a little bit more, but hey, that is reality. All my gloves and everything in here, all my coats here, saddles. Haven't put my saddle cover back on from riding earlier. We'll do that in a minute. Actually, haven't even taken off my white saddle pads from eventing last weekend. Yeah, but they're nice and clean still, so may as well ride in them once or twice more before putting them in the wash. Bridles, spare reins, breastplate, show head collar, which hasn't had much use this year. Feed, supplements, Pus Puss's din-dins, cleaning products, Zoflo galore. That's got like medicine-y stuff in. Oh, deodorant. That is like, shove it all in their cupboard. My hats, Massage pad, one of the most used and loved things that I've ever bought Banksy. Welly boots, lycra hoods, shower. Get a lot of questions about this. Bought this about 5 years ago. It's a Shower King shower. It's very good, and if you have a horse with 4 white legs, it makes life a whole lot easier. Other rugs and stuff's in here. These storage containers are really fab. My tack room is the only thing that I wish was a bit bigger, to be honest with you. It's 6 by 12, so 12 that way, the same as the stables, but only 6 this way. And in an ideal world, I would swap the end stable with the tack room and have that for more storage. But this is the first room you get to when you come in from the gate, and it's ideal that you can come in straight away and get the horses feed sorted. Yeah, what else is there to show of my yard? I've explained the fields. That is the rubbish pile. Oh, I can't go out there, it's so wet. That used to be Sam's run, is what I was going on to say there. When we first got Samuel the Spaniel, who I will introduce you to shortly, he was an outdoor gun dog. But he didn't stay that way for very long, but I'll explain more about that when he is by my side. For now, let's just go down to Pus Puss. Hi, you ready for your limelight? Are you ready to be on camera? Are you? I wish the rain would stop, because I don't know how well we can hear. Got anything? You don't do that to me, do you? Only to Daddy, remember? So Pus Puss rocked up into my life almost 2 years ago. It was the very end of October 2018, and he turned up from nowhere, didn't you? And he's never left. I wonder why. He has the life of Riley. He's spoiled rotten, but he's an absolute sweetheart. I love him so much. Always here, always under my feet, always looking for me, always looking for attention, ever since that day you arrived 2 years ago. Now, when he did arrive, I did take him to the vets to find out whether he was chipped and whether anybody had lost him, because he seemed so friendly that it seemed impossible that he could be a feral cat and have like come from living wild. Like, he's just like the cuddliest. Look, you can do anything to him, can't you? You're the cuddliest cat ever. He doesn't try and get down or get away like other cats do. He just loves the attention, don't you? Absolutely loves it. He would stay like that all day, wouldn't you? Oh, he's toasty warm. He wasn't chipped, but the vets did say that he must have been loved at some point, because, will you show or not? Will you show with one hand? He's had dental work. He's only got 1 tooth. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you with one hand. I don't want to upset him. There's his tooth. There's your tooth. Toothy tooth. There's your fang. And they have been expertly removed, or professionally removed, as the dentist said. Huh. He's like, on that note, let's go eat. Yep. They've been expertly removed, so he must have been loved by someone, and someone must have spent a lot of money on him at some point, having his teeth and gums sorted out. So it's a strange old story. We will never know where he came from. The vets reckon he is about 10, and I just reckoned he was about 10 2 years ago, so he must be about 12 by now. But he's fit and healthy, and he's living his best life. He's always hungry. He's always wanting fuss, and he'll always have a home with us for as long as he shall live. He doesn't wander very far. He's always here, and recently he has started to stay on the bed overnight, so long may that continue during the winter. The best thing about having a miniature Shetland is not only how cute they are, but how quick they are to muck out. Literally, that is it. Easy peasy. Both bedrooms all done, and the weather is not letting up today, so I'm actually gonna go and get them in now. It's about 3:30, so it's a lot earlier than I normally would get them in. but it's pretty vile. I've got to get my run done yet because I'm doing the October 100k run challenge to raise money for breast cancer. It's day 4. I need to get on and do my run, so I thought if I get the horses in now, I can then get my stuff on, go for my run, then have a shower, get dry, warm, dry, clean, 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 warm and dry, and cozy down and introduce you to the doggies. As I said, we call that the kitchen, no, stable field. This is the big field. I normally set up, or sometimes set up an arena out there. Do you want to come in, boys? I didn't think they'd come if I called them, so I've come prepared. Hello! I'm quite happy munching away. Do you want to come in? We need to talk a bit about you guys on the vlog. So Banksy and Dinks, aka Little Legs, aka Bertie. Ah, he knows I've got treats in my pocket. Oh, you're going to take yourself in. Was it Bertie? Doesn't sound right calling him Bertie, but that's what he was called when we got him. Was purchased just over 2 years ago now, August 18, as a companion for Banksy. My friend Steph used to keep her horse Storm here, but did find she was struggling without the use of a school, so went back to where she liveried at previously, which left me needing to get a friend for Sir Banksy. And I fancied a little fluffy one, and I found a little fluffy one. Coming in? Although he's not very fluffy at the minute, he's just soaking wet. Given a chance, he would go straight into Banksy's bed now and roll. What are you going to do? Although you've got your own bed to do it in now. But for some reason, he always prefers Banksy's. Oh, but I think Banksy's going to see him off. Uh-oh, uh-oh. What's happening? Ready for it? I have no idea why he does it. He doesn't do it in his own bed. I did wonder whether he wouldn't do it now he's on camera. But every single time he comes in, if he can get in Banksy's bed first, he will go in there and he will roll. Okay, he's pretending he is camera shy today, aren't you? Or he thinks I have treats in my pocket. Actually, he thinks he knows. Dinks, what's this? Good boy. So we got Dinks in August 2018, and I will insert a little bit of footage here of when he first met his big brother Banksy, the day we brought him home. I did make a little vlog at the time, so I'll put a link in the description below to that video. It wasn't, I will admit, my best vlog. Alright, I did. But it's just nice to have the memories to look back on of him arriving. He's a very cute boy. Everybody said at the time, you'll regret getting a miniature Shetland because they're hellas. But he is not. He's an absolute angel. He doesn't give us an ounce of trouble. He's a proper sweetheart. As you can see, he's very, very cute. Very fluffy. He loves a good itchy scratchy, don't you? Yeah, his winter coat. Oh, that's your rug that I was actually going to put on you. I will do that quickly. It's getting pretty thick now, and he gets really hot and itchy scratchy when he's got a winter coat, so I will probably have to clip a little bit off him. He does have a proper turnout rug on the way. He's only 5. He was 3 when we got him, and he's 5 now. We got him quite locally, about 15 miles from here. He was an absolute superstar to travel home. The lady that had him has like 16, 17 miniature Shetland, so when we went down there were loads to choose from. But there was just something about him that both me and my mum loved, because he was just such a sweetheart. He wanted fuss and attention, but he wasn't too bolshy and in your face, whereas some of them were really, really cheeky. He's done a little bit of showing in his previous home, and I'd have loved to say that I have done or will do some with him too, but it's just time allowing us to be able to do it. Maybe that is an aim I can make next year. Me and Em have said before that we'd love to get dressed up in the tweed stuff and take him in hand showing. Why have you gone camera shy and you're not looking at me? Dinks. Dinks. This way. He just wants me to itch him, basically. He's smiling. He's smiling. I don't really know that there's much else to tell about him. He's an absolute sweetheart. Banksy gets quite jealous of him if I give him too much attention, I will admit that. Apart from that, he's not broken or anything. He's never been ridden. He is only 5 and I've had him, like I say, since he was 3. So he hasn't really done a lot. He did a little bit of in-hand showing, but he's mainly just a companion, a big cuddly teddy bear and our pet. A little lovable little legs. He's an absolute sweetheart. You can do absolutely anything to him. He's good as gold with the farrier, aren't you? Good as gold to clip. A bit cheeky to bath, I will add. You climbed on my back once when we were bathing you, didn't you? And yeah, I did the trot up in the summer with him. You'll have seen us do that. I'll insert that here too. But aside from that, he doesn't really do a lot. He just is a little sweetheart. He likes cuddles, eating, and kisses, don't you? Yes, you do. And I would highly recommend to anybody getting a miniature Shetland as a companion because they're such good fun. They're time wasters. I mean, I could spend hours just scratching him and fussing him because he likes it so much. Dinks. Oh, I know why you're there. Because Banksy had one of these last night, didn't he? I know why you're not rolling and why you're sniffing, because you can smell the bits that have fallen off that and you're trying to get them. Yes, you are. Ah, I should have clicked as to why that was sooner, shouldn't I? Right, come on, in your bedroom. This way. Come on. This way. This way. Ah, good boy. In here. Good boy. Leave him have the run of his stable and outside, so he's got the choice as to where he goes and he's not just confined to a stable. It's not cold, it's just wet, and he's got plenty of shelter and food should he wish to be in there, but the majority of the time he spends outside. I mean, he's a Shetland, he doesn't mind getting cold and wet. So Banksy has taken himself over to the all-day buffet, haven't you, Banks? Are you going to come in now, please? Can we talk a little bit about you? What's this? You've got that in your stable. Come on then. Come on. Come on. Follow Mum, please. Come on. Yes, you're fickle. You're fickle for food, aren't you? Oh, do you want another one of those? Would that be a nice treat for spending... Stand. Wait, wait. Good boy. Right, where to start? I would imagine a lot of you that have followed my vlogs and Instagram for the past 3 or 4 years will know a lot about Sir Banksy. But for those of you that are new here, I will start from the beginning. I didn't actually plan to buy another horse at the time of getting Banksy. I had a horse called Buddy. I'll insert some snippets of Buddy here now. And Buddy, unfortunately, in June 2014, went lame with his hocks. He had hock arthritis, and he had to have a little bit. Woo-wee! He had to have a little bit of time out. So I started riding Banksy for a friend called Lisa. It was never my intention to get another horse. Buddy had steroid injections and treatment and did come back sound. But I'd already started riding Banksy and fell in love with him pretty instantly. Lisa imported Banksy from Ireland as an unbroken 5-year-old. He was a late starter in life, he wasn't cut until late either. Imported quite a lot of horses, so I just literally helped her a little bit of all different horses over that summer when Buddy was out of action. Rode 3 or 4 of her horses, but this one I well and truly fell in love with, didn't I? He was a bit of a cheeky chappy, quite a character, did put me on my bottom more often than not. However, for some reason I couldn't resist and just had to somehow make him mine. It was a little bit impossible situation at the time because we were just about to go to Vegas to get married. It was August 14 and we were getting married in the September. But there was just something telling me that I had to do it. And Robbie was thankfully very supportive and cooperative and made it happened. And yeah, we haven't looked back. There were days in the early days where I was like, oh my goodness, what have I bought? Because I was popping air jacket canisters more often than not. But it's paid off. It's been worth it. He's still got the sharp streak to him, but I wouldn't change him for the world. I feel very lucky to own such a talented horse. I do just sometimes wish that I was a bit more capable of bringing out the best in him, don't I? I let you down sometimes, don't I? I know. I feel bad for it too. But I know that you're happy as long as you're well looked after, got nice food, a nice round belly, and a warm, dry stable to hang out in. He's an absolute dude. He loves his job, which is what makes me feel even more sad about how our season ended last week. But I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm just going to make sure he has a nice, easy couple of weeks, as I said earlier, and then we can get back out, hopefully, to doing what we love. I'm not going to go too much into our riding story or journey together because I am going to make a whole separate vlog on that, and I do have another vlog where I featured some of our early days together. But yeah, he is my pride and joy, my numero uno. He's actually 13 this year. You wouldn't believe it because he acts like a 5-year-old still half the time, don't you? I just feel very, very, very lucky. I count my blessings every day that I'm fortunate enough to own him. For those of you that are probably wondering now what happened to Buddy, I am pleased to say that he is still with us and still going strong, bless his heart. He is retired now, but I was struggling with riding and keeping fit 2 horses in the winter, and I had grown to love my eventing. He taught me this. Before Banksy, I didn't event at all. I did one 2'3" walk trot test one day event on Buddy in 2014, which is actually where I first ever laid eyes on Banksy, because Lisa was there doing her first one day event, or his first one day event on him. And I realised in the winter of the year after that I just did not have time to keep 2 horses in full work, especially when I had one that had arthritic hocks who needed work little and often. In the winter with my work, I can only ride in the week if I'm to go to an indoor school or something like that, so I'm not actually able to keep them in full work in the winter. And my lovely friend, who actually is also called Lisa, was looking for a horse to restore her confidence on, and Buddy did just that for her. So she had him and gave him an absolutely amazing home for life off me, and he went on to do what he did for me for her and give her all the confidence in the world, jumping old school heights like 2'3" and 2'6", which is what his hocks were at the time, then still capable of doing. So he was an awesome little horse. Like I say, he is sadly retired now, but he just brought so much joy to everybody's lives when he was doing his job, what he loved best. He's very much like Banksy, but a little bit more push button. Somebody's got a bit more quirks than Buddy had, haven't you? Yes, you have. Whereas Bud's was literally, I always say, he's very much like Emily Sprite, just point and go. And he would literally take on the world for you because he was absolutely amazing. I'm not saying that you're not, don't you worry. You're just a little bit trickier to ride. But you do give me your all, and I love you very much for it. And I've been talking for far too long because I've still got more animals to talk about yet. So I'm going to leave you eat. Oh, what you've seen. Leave you eat. I'm not going to put your neck on because your neck's not wet. And go and introduce you all to the doggies. I don't think I actually said, but it was late one October evening 2 years ago that Sam actually found Pus Puss in here. We were coming out to do the late night checks for the horses, and Sam was sniffing and sniffing and sniffing around the wood store, and it turned out there was a cat in there, and that cat is Pus Puss, who, yeah, that is his name. He kind of just stuck. He was going to be Barney because we had Banksy, Bertie and Barney, the barn cat, but it just never really stuck. A bit like Bertie doesn't stick with Dinks, it's Dinks and it's Pus Puss. But yeah, he primarily lived in here, and he was skin and bones when we first found him. When I took him to the vets to see whether he was scanned, they said that he probably hadn't eaten for at least 2 weeks, and that it was very lucky that we found him because he was pretty much on his last legs, bless his heart. So I think the reason he's so like needy and loving towards me is because he does actually know that I saved him. Welcome to the warmth. Warm, cozy summer house. And here's the boys. Stay. Don't be jumping on and off. You've got a job to do. Blue is taking this role very seriously, aren't you, Blue? You're guarding the treats from Samuel because you know that he will eat them all at once, don't you? And you're being a very good boy and protecting them for me, aren't you? Yes, I know. You're needy and you're a piggy, and Blue's a good boy, aren't you, Blue? You stay there. So meet Samuel, who you've probably met the most out of the two doggies. I don't think lots of people know that we have a Viney either. Too, do they? We got a Viney too. You're an old boy, aren't you, Blue Dog? So we'll talk about Blue first. Oh, and I would love to say that the summer house is looking nice and ambient. Ambient? Is that the word?
No.
What's the word?
Tidy.
Tidy. It is. Excuse me. I said you were protecting them. Ah! Robbie's currently putting feet on these to stop them marking. Sam, say that. Oh, Samuel's off. Marking the floor because they've been denting the wood a little bit. But yes, welcome to my new vlogging studio. Basically, it's a lovely cozy room, isn't it, Blue? You say, why am I on camera? Where it's a lot lighter and a lot better than upstairs in the house for me to film and to get work done. And it's also, we've had a couple of meals out here, haven't we, babe? It's been a nice to use as a dining room. And as the sign says up there, what is life without music? Robbo invested in a lovely new music player. What's it called? Record player. What is it? Stereo.
It's a record player, amplifier and speakers, some sensor systems, I'm sure.
Record player, amplifier and speakers. It's very powerful. We won't put that on now because it's quite loud and it will ruin the vibe that we've got going on of snuggles in the warmth, won't it, Blue? But we'll talk a little bit about you boys. Rawr, Blue is fierce, aren't you, Blue? And maybe we'll move on to this as well so that you can do your important job. What do you reckon, Blue? Are you keen to do some taste testing? Are you? As you can see, he is getting quite an old man now. You've got droopy eyes, haven't you? And you've got lumps and bumps places. You are now 11, aren't you, Blue Dog? And Robbie has had you since he was 14 weeks? 14 weeks old. March 09 was he born? March 9. But me and Robbie didn't get together till May 10. So Blue Boy hasn't been in my life all of my life, all of his life. Wait, you were doing a good job protecting them from Samuel, but now you're trying to, he's like, yeah, time's up, want to get in. He's been in my life 10 years and he's a pretty amazing doggy, aren't you? You're very special. You're the most loyal dog, but you do think you're human as well, don't you? He does good singing. I don't know if I can make him sing today. Can we do some talking today? Or are you too intent on protecting the treats? Blue, talk to me. Oh. Oh yes, you're going to perform for the camera. Oh, what'd you say? What happened next? Oh, I know, there's too much temptation there, isn't there? You're shaking. Oh, do a bit more? Do you want to do a bit more? Well, you're a very lucky boy because you're not remotely arthritic, so you don't actually need them yet. Do you? No, you don't. But you can have a treat because you've been so good. So basically, the lovely people at Red Mills sent the boys a load of treats to try. Those of you that have followed the vlogs or Instagram stories for quite a while will know that Sam has been on these since April, May. These are your bedtime treats, aren't they? Because Sam was struggling with his hips. It seems he had the onset of arthritis in his hips and he was struggling with stairs, jumping into the boot of the car, jumping on the bed. And they kindly sent me some of these to try and we have not looked back. They are absolutely amazing. They have helped him so much to turn into the springy spaniel and have the zest for life again that he always had, haven't they? Do you want to show how you jump up now? Come on then. Whee! Just like that. Whereas you couldn't do that in April, could you? Not at all. No, you couldn't. No. It's not even that you've had a hard life because you started life as a gun dog. We got you when you were 12 weeks. We went and saw him when he was 8 weeks, didn't we? But then we had to take my dad to London for his cancer treatment. And we couldn't pick you up till we got back, could we? And that was in 2012, when the Olympics was on. That was August as well, wasn't it? August 2012. So you're just over 8 now. And as I said, yeah, struggled slightly with his hips, don't you? And it's not through having a hard life, because you started life as a gun dog and lived outside for the first 18 months of your life. In that run, didn't you, by the stables, because you were born outside as a gun dog. Yes, you were. But then one Christmas, probably only Christmas 13, he came in and he slept on the bed and he never went out again. Blue's saying, please just open these treats. So basically Sam's 8, Blue's 11, and they are both now being fed again onto this from Red Mills. I will right below add, because they have kindly given me a discount code for you guys to use if you were to purchase any of their products. I know lots of you have had great success feeding these as well, because I've promoted them a lot on Instagram stories. You don't need them because you're not remotely arthritic. I know you would love to have one, but you can have one of these. But it's hard for me to do it with one hand on the camera and one hand there. Actually, I tell you what you can have. You can have a dental stick. They're dental sticks the boys go mad for. I did make a... Good boy. I did make a reel on my Instagram showing how much they love these. Sammy doesn't like you watching him eat it. He will probably go down on the floor and go, yep, I know him too well. He will go over there and hide and pretend you can't see him eat it, because he doesn't like people watching him, whereas you are just inhaling it, aren't you? But they're made of all natural ingredients, no artificial colours, flavours or sugars, and they are free from wheat, soya, corn and wheat gluten. Antibacterial ingredients support good oral health, healthy teeth and gums, Blue Dog. And as you can see, they're very, very tasty. They also do day-to-day treats. And these ones are good for hips and joints, so Sammy can have one of them, because they have got added glucosamine, good boy, and omega-3 oils in them. Added hip and joint care benefits. And as much as your joints are old, I'm not going to give you one of them. I'm going to give you, oh nice, thanks, one of these. They haven't even been opened yet, Blue Dog. These have added benefits for skin and coat. And we all know that vimies have greasy skin. You can be a bit smelly, can't you? Yes, you can. Gentle. Ones specifically for skin and coat, and then they also have ones that are specific for training. So training puppies, perfect for puppies and training. They have these, which are salmon flavour and chicken flavour, and they're a nice smaller size so that you can fit a few in your pocket and you can give more than one as a reward rather than the ones that are a little bit bigger. Yeah, just have to mind you don't take my fingers off when I give these, don't I? Gentle. You're very gentle. Good boy. You're not very gentle. You're not very gentle. You be nice. Gentle. Good boy. Good boy. Very good boys, aren't you? Very spoilt boys. Mind your bum, Sam. Let's flip this back over. Good boy, Blue. You've done a good job protecting those treats. That way. Oh, Sammy. Fun fact about you, Blue, that's not really that fun. Blue Dog, well, no, Sam Dog absolutely loves Pus Puss. And you found him and love him and look after him, don't you, Sam? Blue Dog would very much like to eat Pus Puss, wouldn't you? So we have to be very careful when Pus Puss comes in the house, because somebody here has had him in his mouth more than once, hasn't he? And it's not because you're vicious or malicious. No, it's not. No. No. It's because you're scared of him, really. So you think the best form of attack is to attack him, don't you? Yeah. Oh, you're going to do some talking now. Yes. What happened next? Oh. Is it because I turned the camera on? Is it? Oh. Oh. Really? What happened next? aren't you? No, don't you scratch that table. You'll be in trouble with your daddy. You'll be in trouble with your daddy. Yes, you will. Right. We've got one more member of the family to introduce. Do you want to introduce them? Sadly, it seems it's going to have to wait for another day to introduce you properly to the new edition. But I do have some footage that I can edit in from over the last week or so. She's a little nervy, and I've got a feeling that there's more than just her. I think she might be pregnant. I did keep thinking over the last few weeks that Pus Puss is eating his food. Oh, the light's gone. Is eating his food very quickly. And it's because he's sharing it with another Pus Puss. You're very sharey, aren't you? You're a good boy. You don't mind. He's also sharing his bed. Yes, you are. So the nights that you've been in the house with us, the other cat, new edition, she's very spooky though. She's not as friendly as you were when we first met, is she? Is sleeping in his bed where we first found you in the hay stall. She's very, very sweet. But yeah, I think there's definitely babies in there. So, as Emily said, I am turning into the crazy cat lady. There's probably going to be another... We're going to go from 1 to ending up having like 6 or 7 if she has babies. Because there's no way we can part with them. Another place she likes to hide, Banksy's nodding, is down here under that galvanised. She likes to... I put food down there sometimes. And I also put it in the hay store. She's really sweet, really pretty. I'll insert that footage here. Hello. Ina's becoming the crazy cat lady. It's cute. You look like Pus Puss. Hello. Oh, he's gone to hide again. Definitely related to Pus Puss.
Related?
Yeah.
What, because it's tabby?
Yeah.
Funny enough, they all look pretty similar.
Right, so it seems somebody has stole your bed, haven't they? Tina's turning into the crazy cat lady, as Emily keeps saying. Hello. You're like a twin. Hello. That's Pus Puss's bed. They stole your bed. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. Hello, don't hide. How ironic that that is where we found Pus Puss. Hence why I made him a bed in there. You've got a friend in there. Are you friends though, or are you not? He's like, you're my mum. You're my mummy.
Doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what